Hey everybody, it is time for issue 4 of the ongoing Injustice series. We're going through all the comic issues as we've stated, so if you haven't checked out the previous issues, check those out, and we're doing these each day, so let's jump back into it. Part 4, issue 4, joined by Temp, I'm Black Cyborg, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first note I had here is, because it basically to lay the groundwork, so to speak, explain what's going on, is we're in the Batcave. Damian and Nightwing, who's Dick Grayson, they're both training together, I suppose, and Nightwing's still trying to get Damian to sharpen his skills and all that fun stuff, and Damian's still being kind of a troublemaker to a degree. And then Superman shows up to talk to Batman. So that's kind of where we're at to start off. Yeah, the first thing I have here in my notes is I really loved when the moment where Superman's just going all out accusatory to Batman, and he said, if you would have just taken one life to save the millions long ago, how many people could you have saved? And he says, do you even feel guilty for all the lives that have been lost because you did not kill the Joker? Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. And he responded with, simply every time. And I thought that carried a lot of weight with one word just carried a lot of weight.
Oh, I mean, this one I'm kind of 50-50 on. I think it's a good conversation to have. I think it was properly set up. But maybe it's just me. I'm getting flashbacks of Red Hood here. I'm getting a lot of Under the Red Hood flashbacks. It feels very reminiscent of,
Right.
I forgive you, for letting me die. I don't forgive you for letting him live. There's a lot of that,
But I mean, who hasn't busted Batman's balls about his moral stance? I mean, it's not like it's completely uncharted territory.
It's absolutely earned. I'm just going to start off by saying the animation in this issue is incredibly suspect. So
I agree with you up until the last issue, or the last chapter. The first two chapters, were a definite dip from what we had before. But I think the third chapter, because if I remember right, when I read part of these before, the artist on the issues actually changes quite a bit. So,
okay.
Yeah, I would, because there's even multiple people listed as the artists. I'm looking at the cover right now. So based on chapters, you have different artists sometimes. So you're gonna see that throughout the series, I'd imagine, because I remember that being a complaint I had when I first read them, like the first 3 or 4 issues that I read long ago, as well as the MKX comics were guilty of the same thing. It would be hit and miss with a lot of them. In this case, chapter 3, I really like the art in chapter 3, but I completely agree with you with the first 2 chapters. The art definitely took a dip.
Really, it's honestly just this issue. I think we're on 4 right now.
Right.
So, I'm just going to go over the examples real quick, because I know we don't want to keep these super long. Sure. But page 1, Dick Grayson's face on the central panel. He looks like he's 50 years old.
No, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. The first 2 chapters, because there's 3 chapters in an issue. The first 2 chapters definitely have a dip in art, whereas the third chapter brings it back. And I think they have different
so that's
artists.
what you meant by chapters. I was actually kind of confused. I think of it all as one issue. I don't really think of a breaking point as a chapter. I wasn't.
Gotcha. They were released. They were released originally in chapters. So you'd get one chapter 1 week. The next week it would be another digital chapter, and that's how Injustice 2's comic's going to go. It's the same with MKX's, I believe. So that's why I think artists were done by chapters. So it wasn't always the same artist throughout the entire issue. It sounds really odd to do it that way, but that's why you'll notice if you look back at the last chapter, the Aquaman stuff at the very end. Things got a little bit clearer art-wise again. It definitely went back. But we'll get into it. So that's all I really had to say, though, about that part with Batman, that whole thing. There was one more couple scenes, I guess, there that I want to talk about. Next being, I guess, was Aquaman, so we can jump to him. I love how Aquaman's head was just poking out of the water there while he was talking to Wonder Woman. There's a scene in there where it's just his head just out of the water. And to me, that always looks silly when you're talking to somebody like that. Come on.
I can't find it now, but I know what you're talking about. That was really funny.
Yeah.
Again, I gotta go back to the drawing. I keep saying animation, but the drawing, the very first panel of his face, it's just like, wow,
Yeah, no, it's
that's
bad.
rough.
It is not good in those first couple chapters. It doesn't
I
really
hate to
get better
belabor a
until the...
point, but my gosh.
I doubt that's even probably the worst we're gonna see in the entire series. But yeah, no, that I definitely noticed that dip in quality too. Like when Superman's talking to Batman in the Batcave, it was definitely I noticed like the way Superman was drawn and his face was drawn was definitely much lower in quality. But anyways, let's move on to
I found it. I
yeah,
found the head.
we
Go
got
on, I'm sorry, continue,
yeah,
yes.
the head out of the water is good. The next quote or the next thing I had in my notes here was I like how Superman asked Batman, "Has he ever held Dick and Damien?"
You know what? I didn't giggle. I
It's
didn't even think about it,
just
and now that
stupid,
I have it,
immature
it's funny.
stuff. But I'm just, and it's not even just the fact that because he didn't really. I don't know if he asked. I don't think he said, "Have you ever held Dick and Damien?" Like that would be silly in itself. But no, he didn't say it like that. He said, "Did you even hold them?" or something like that. And what I thought why it was really funny to me was just the picture of Batman just like rocking back and forth as he holds them. Like what do you mean? Does he ever hold them? I mean, I guess that's something all fathers must do is continually, make sure to hold your children plenty of times. Grown children. Like, he met Dick when Dick was like, he's like an adolescent. I mean, I don't think he needs to. Anyways.
It's very accusatory.
Yeah,
I'm
he
going
was
to jump
very.
into another thing I laughed at. It's on
Sure.
either it's somewhere between page 6 through 8,
Okay.
but it's on the page where Aquaman punches the boat. The
Gotcha, yeah.
central bottom panel, there's a guy falling out of the boat, and they
Yeah.
just wrote in the dialogue bubble, "Nyah."
Yeah.
just and then they wrote the.
Yeah.
I don't know. That really made me laugh
Yeah.
like hard.
That was another good one. There's a few funny moments in this issue. Next, I have on here. We're gonna jump ahead a little bit. I like, I like basic. Well, it's not too far ahead, but Batman's goes and just swings on Superman because Superman was being horrible to him. Basically, well, to be specific, Superman comes in with a dick line. I even wrote it down. He says, "Your parents died and left you, Bruce. What's your excuse for not being a father?" Like, damn, there was a couple burns in here that were pretty bad. And I'm not talking about Atlantis.
That's not what I'm laughing at, by the way. But yes, that is a good burn.
Okay, so he hits him with that sweet burn. Batman comes back with a punch, and then Superman just out. I like how Superman no sells the punch because he doesn't even like. He just doesn't phase him, and then he doesn't even get mad at Bruce that he just swung on him. He just simply uses his X-ray to like X-ray vision to see with the damage on Bruce's hand. It's almost like rubbing salt in the wounds, insult to injury, where he just doesn't care that he just got punched. All he's like is, "Hey, did you just hurt your hand when you punched me?" And Batman's like, no, I didn't hurt it. Don't worry about it. And then Superman's like, "No, I think you hurt it. Yep, you fractured it right there. You shouldn't
That's
punch
what I was
things."
laughing at.
Yeah.
Like that precisely, because the exact line is, I'm going to throw Batman there. "Batman, show me your hand." And Batman goes, "No." It's so childish.
It is
It's so
good. They just need to have like a slap fight all of a sudden. Like, yeah.
He's even making a pouty face. Like, it's so fucking.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was some good stuff. And then one more good scene before we leave the bat cave is Alfred's coming down the steps and he starts talking to Superman, and Superman refers to Alfred as, master, whatever, and then Alfred calls Superman master, which makes sense, and then Superman basically says, "You don't have to call me master," and then bam, Alfred hits him with the sick burn coming back. Good. Let's remember that. Damn! Alfred is going in. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, the rage is strong in this issue.
This
like,
is
everyone's
good.
affected. No one is
Yeah,
spared.
like, who knew Alfred had it in him? I know we've seen him slap Batman around a little bit a couple times, but dang, he just outright burns Superman, like, more so than anything I've ever seen.
Alfred
Damn.
is old. He doesn't give a shit. He
I
doesn't
know.
take shit.
He is that age where he's just like, I don't care. What are you going to do? You going to break my back? Like, okay, so then Next, I have written down here that Aquaman releases the Kraken, or the Kraken. And I just envisioned him, like, I thought in my mind, release the Kraken! So, yeah, he releases that out of the ocean because he's just all, you guys aren't the only ones with weapons of mass destruction. It can be under the sea as well. So he pulls that out and causes like a tidal wave and all that kind of fun stuff. And I like Aquaman's quote where he's basically just kind of having his training day moment where he's like, King Kong doesn't have shit on me, but he's saying that your entire world is inside mine because every, bordering thing to a landmass is water, is the ocean. So he's having his own little outrage moment, which is good. Hair in my mouth. Okay, back to the review. Next thing I have in here is Superman. And I don't know why Green Lantern and Shazam / Captain Marvel goes along with this. I mean, I know why Wonder Woman does, because she's obviously in it. She's already played her hand. She showed what kind of person she is. But the other two...
We're going to talk about that a little later, but go on. Yeah.
Green Lantern and Shazam, on the other hand, they are still very much neutral in all of this, and you would think they're on the side of good. Or at least, I mean, obviously it's all shades of gray still to a degree. But Superman lifts out Atlantis from the water and places it in the Sahara Desert. Like, holy hype balls. What a thing to do. Like, a total dick move. Like, I can't, like, where did they come up with that? That's so creative and clever, but such a dick move. That's amazing.
What makes it even more dickish is he probably could have done it by himself, but he makes Shazam and Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's just incriminating his friends along with it. Oh, God, he's getting his friends' hands dirty. So, yeah, we have that fun moment. And then I did want to point out that when Aquaman's talking to Wonder Woman a little bit later, he has kind of like a hypocritical comment that I thought, or at least I want to run this by you.
Sure.
He says... And I have the direct quotation here. He says, "You will have scared a lot of people today. Ordinary people who will not want gods and aliens telling them what they can and can't do," referring to her and Superman and their actions today. Hello, Aquaman had fucking sea monsters, ginormous sea monsters at every seashore and like port and marina.
Unprovoked, he invaded pretty much every single coast.
Yeah, no, I know. He did like a total like power move where he's like, "Don't you fuck with us." It's like, you're just scaring everybody. You are a total hypocrite with that statement. Anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. But Aquaman's was pretty cool. And then the last thing, which will lead into the Wonder Woman discussion, because the way she kind of went about things is a little bit shady here. I wrote down Wonder Woman being a bit of a string puller in the end, where Aquaman wanted her to tell Superman sorry about Lois, which obviously is a nice gesture, shows that he cares, trying to build that bridge and really, extend that to Superman. And Wonder Woman goes up to Superman, tells him the business, everything's good, we fixed everything. Superman says surely he must have said something else. Wonder Woman's like, nope. Nope, that was it. Nope, that's all. That's all, folks. No sorry about Lois. She's brutal. Really pulling those strings and driving that wedge. She's definitely being a little bit of a manipulating Mary. Manipulating. I don't know.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I feel like she is kind of like the opposite of Lex Luthor in this story, where Lex Luthor in the Injustice universe was never evil. Sure. I'm thinking in this universe, Wonder Woman was never good. Like, maybe she's not like pure evil, but just the misanthropy is just for some reason a lot stronger in this parallel universe, because this is not just like a philosophy of man needs to be ruled. This is like some lying master manipulator shit. There's really no positive way to spin this character, so
no,
I don't think it's bad character development. Oh, I'm sorry, go on.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, that's rough.
I don't think it's bad character development. I think it just, they're trying to establish early this is a different Wonder Woman. This is not the one we know. Like, the other one doesn't really care much for man either, the one in the traditional DC universe, if that's even a thing. Sure. But I think she's a lot more reasonable. I think that's fair. I don't feel like this Wonder Woman's reasonable, like, at all.
Yeah, in normal Wonder Woman comes off a little bit more noble in her causes and what she does, and she takes, she has a bit more of a like a respectful quality about her, whether she always makes the right decision or not, or sees eye to eye with everyone else. But here she is definitely being a manipulator, like you said, and that is not how I envision Wonder Woman. I don't envision her as a manipulator, but that's what she's doing here. So they're definitely establishing those lines that she's kind of like the queen bee to Superman's reign, and that's what she's driving for, and she's being the driving force and enabling Superman's. Anytime Superman's having a moment of weakness where he wants to, let the anger get the best of him, she's the one that's like, do it. You deserve this. You deserve this, honey. Go for it. Show them who's boss. Show them what we can do. Like, she is that one pushing him and egging him on.
It's very Macbeth. It's very, like, Shakespearean, like, no, just, kill the king. It's your throne. Do it.
Exactly.
Like, it's yeah.
It's dirty, but it's good for the story that there is a character like that to really keep pushing Superman down that path. Whether Wonder Woman should be that character, I mean, who's to say? But yeah, she's doing it well. She's doing it exceedingly well right now. But other than that, I don't have much more to say about this issue other than there was some great moments, some great comedy. Unfortunately, bad art for the first 2/3 of it, and but yeah, some sick burns and nasty things going on already. We're already getting those tactics and power plays and all that fun stuff.
Well, I mean, the Wonder Woman stuff, I don't want to say is good or bad. Here's what I don't want. I don't want them to backpedal. Be like, oh no, it's traditional Wonder Woman after all. She was just having sort of an evil phase. No, like, go all the way with it. Because if you think about the Injustice game, she's one of the few characters in the Injustice parallel side of the universe that didn't really have some sort of redeeming quality. Like Hawkgirl is an asshole because Hawkman was killed.
Sure.
Cyborg was an asshole because the other Titans were killed. Why is Wonder Woman an asshole? Well, we're never told, and this might be the only reason we get it, just because this is just a different Wonder Woman.
Well, there wasn't with Wonder Woman. It doesn't seem like there was like a light switch that happened with her. It seems they're very much playing it as if she's been waiting for this moment to happen. And she even said that, I believe, in one of the issues we've covered already, is this is what she wanted Superman to do all along. So they're definitely playing it off as she's been waiting for a moment like this. And maybe we get to a point where she's happy with Joker's antics because it's led to this. Who knows if they ever push it to that degree where she's basically happy. She's okay with all those lives dying because she's happy with the end result. Like, who knows if they push to that degree, but I wouldn't be surprised with where this is going.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. They also make it pretty clear that Wonder Woman was very interested in Lois's side of the bed and has been for a long time.
Sure.
And now she's trying to get dibs as fast as she possibly can.
And yeah, Ares was playing that up, yeah. Oh, that's where we were talking about that. That's where that came from that I was remembering.
Before we let our audience go here, because I know we're going a little bit over time, but I just want to point out one final panel with the Kraken.
Sure.
There's actually what I thought was a dialogue bubble, but then I noticed it was green. The dialogue bubble was filled with ships, and I realized, that's Hal.
Yeah.
That's creepy. I thought the Kraken was thinking about ships, so I didn't fucking know.
Nice.
But yeah, very well done. Like, I really had to look. I missed it the first time. I had to go back and kind of be like, what? So yeah, that was a very nice subtle detail. I don't want to be all negative about the drawing. But you know what I mean.
Okay. That's okay. They know what you mean. But yeah, let's move on to the next issue. So we'll see you on issue 5. And yeah, this was decent. The only thing that really took a dip was the art. Let's hope that's not too much of a trend going forward. But I do expect more dips like that because I know the artists are going to be changing. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow with episode 5. Take care, guys.
Later, everybody.